Talk to me, Goose.
I feel the need for speed.
So this weekend marks the 40th anniversary of the greatest cinematic masterpiece of our lifetime. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Top Gun is back in the movie theater. And it is the greatest movie of all time. And we can argue all you want to, but I'm right. And the second greatest movie of all time is also Top Gun Maverick. These movies have a little bit of everything. They've got Tom Cruise, Val Kilmer, Meg Ryan, action, romance, heartbreak, fighter jets, all rolled into one. And much like Grounded by Design, they keep you on the edge of your seat every minute that they're playing. And that's what we plan to do. Come along with us. We have a lot of action. We got cool rides. And we got a little bit of heartbreak. We're going to the racetrack. We're going to the movie theater. And we're going to, yeah, I know, work on the 55 again. So Brandon, what are you doing?
I'm loading a tune in.
Turn it up, turn it down, turn it up, turn it down.
Send it to the moon.
Send it to the, and your drawers probably too.
Probably.
He's about to poop himself, so.
I hope not. I hope we can make a pass, you know, just A to B without pooping my pants.
That'd be a successful night. So I just want to show you just how simple the airlift system is. Either the 3P or the ALP4, they both install just the same. Super simple, guys. Literally, this is your ECU and your valve block all made together. This comes in one piece. You can bolt it from either underneath. It's threaded on the inside here. You can bolt it from underneath with a mount. So this is hidden. So your hardware is hidden. Or you can bolt it like we did with long Allen bolts and nuts through like a panel. You've got your main wire and harness plugs in the back right here. And then all of your air lines also come in that side. And they're labeled on the block which ones they are. So you've got one going to each bag, each corner, and one going to the tank. So 5 air lines. That's all you got. And then you've got your exhaust port over here, which you can put a muffler in if you want to quiet it down, which is what I normally do. They make a push connect little thing that sticks in there, muffles the sound. Obviously, you've got your air tank, 2 compressors. You want to hook those up. I always run dual compressors, and I always run dual water air separators on each compressor. I always run the AVS billet style water air separators. I'm just a fan of those. You can run remote drains like we did on the tank. So the tank has an electric drain with a button right here. You hit that button, it drains the tank, all your condensation, makes it super simple. You can put those remote drains on your water air separators as well. I've just got those ran to the outside. And then obviously they've got little turny valves that you can drain those with, and it just drains to the outside. The wiring harness you need to buy. So the kit comes with the main wiring harness for the valve block and 1 compressor. Airlift makes, and AVS and Lowrider Depot, they all have a version of the same wiring harness for the 2nd compressor that just simply plugs in with a spade connector to your airlift harness. There's already a wire there, or a signal wire for it. You plug that in, and then literally it is plug and play. So you run your connections to your 2 compressors, your power and ground. Your harness already has your relays in the harness. You'll run main power. You'll have a power and a ground for the main harness and a power and a ground for that secondary harness. Plug this in, hook your compressors to the harness, run your wire for your wired controller into the cabin of the truck or car, and you're done. Mount your compressors, mount your tank, mount your valve block. Tons of companies out there make mounts for these compressors. They're Viers. Tons of people make pedestal mounts and all different kind of 3D printed and chrome and stainless and weld mounts you can weld to the frame for the compressors and for the valve block and the tank for that matter. We're just using a standard black aluminum tank. You can get the flow. I really like the flow tanks. They're nice polished stainless tanks. I also recommend Standard Air Company. They've just started making a tank. That company's owned by Thorbeck, Jason Thorbeck from Thorbeck Brothers. He's big time into mini trucks. He has started he started Standard Air Company, and they make all different kinds of tanks that are fantastic. You can get them in different colors. They're super high quality. He's put a lot of R&D into them. And the next vehicle I build with air on it will probably have one of those. This tank I already had. It's all going to be hidden behind a panel that goes right here, so you're not going to see any of this. We just laid it out real nice for now, and this may be temporary. The upholstery shop may change all this. We wrapped everything in Dynamat just to keep the sound and vibration down. So right now we're in the back seat area of the car looking into the trunk. This is the back side of the tank. We've checked all these fittings on the ends where the tank goes into the water air separator, and also that's our pressure blow off valve. So that ensures that your tank doesn't get over pressurized. Over to the other side, we check those fittings. That's where the other compressor and water air separator is. There's a drain fitting, or there's a block off fitting right there for an unused port. We checked it. We checked our bottom fitting in our tank. That is our drain. It goes into that electric solenoid. That's a remote tank drain that runs out to the bottom of the car. And then we check this is the main air supply fitting here going into the tank. That supplies your main air to your manifold to pressurize your bags. And if you see here, as soon as I start spraying that, it is blowing gigantic bubbles like it's a early 90s teen girl. So we're gonna drain the air out of the tank. Unless you like to live on the wild side, I recommend draining the tank before you just try to He-Man that line off of there, because things are gonna get real loud and real interesting real quick. So we're gonna drain the tank, pull the line out, and we'll see what's going on with it. All right, so tech tip of the day. This is gonna be a controversial one with the air ride guys, but this is how I do it. It's how I've pretty much always done it. When you got a fitting, air fitting, you've got to put some type of sealant on it, on the threads, before you screw it in. They are tapered NPT fittings, most of them, but the taper is not enough to seal it for air pressure or liquid. You need to put a sealant on it. A lot of people these days use what is that, Loctite 575 or something like that. It's a liquid thread sealant. I'm not sitting there fooling that stuff. It gets all over the place. The way I've always done it, I use Teflon tape or PTFE tape. This is Blue Monster brand. This is the only brand I use. It works better for some reason. I do not know why. It just works better. It's an industrial pipe tape. You take it, and you're going to have the air fitting to your left where the air comes in, or your air line comes in, and then you got your threads on the right. If you take that tape and you lay it on that thread facing away from you, and you wrap it away from you, away from your body, that's going to be clockwise. And you want to get all those threads covered. And you want to go around about, I usually go around about 3 times. You don't want to get too much on there because it's going to start to bind your threads up when you do it. Pull your end off. Make sure if you don't have a very long fitting or long threads on your fitting, you're going to want to make sure you clean that pipe tape off the bottom there so you're nice and open. Make sure it's smooth. And when you go to screw that thread, that fitting on, it's not going to pull your thread tape off. If you do it the other way, it's going to pull the thread tape off. You're going to be mad. That's why a lot of people don't use thread tape. I do. Been doing it a long time. A lot of successful, thousands of successful air fitting connections done just the way I did it right there. All right, so we're back in the car. We know this fittings, well, this connection is leaking. It could just be, I mean, that line is cut pretty straight. So normally I would check the end of the line, make sure it was cut straight, and I always just recut them anyway if I've got enough length on the line. So we're gonna go ahead. We've got a pair of hose cutters. These are old as hell, Craftsman. Boy, bought these at Sears years ago. That's showing my age again. We're gonna make sure that thing is square to the end there. Snip it off. That's good flat, because if these things are crooked, if you cut them crooked, they're not going to seal in these push connect fittings. And I know a lot of people will say don't use the plastic fittings. I try to steer away from them a lot of times because they are known to be problematic. These are DOT style fittings. So they use them in big rigs, so obviously they'll work. But they do require some maintenance a lot of times. This one may or may not have been leaking because it is brand new, but I've got a bunch of them. So to save myself some time, I'm just gonna go ahead and replace this guy right here while we're here. It's in a tight little spot right there. And I will note that it was not leaking at the threads of the fitting, and I did that one just like I did this one that you just seen me do on camera. So we've got that fitting replaced that we were working on. We got the air pumped back up to 200 psi, and as you can see, no more bubbles. So we have successfully fixed that fitting right there. That should be our tank. So there's a couple of other things I want you to know about the airlift install and the air management before we go any further, and that is that I go with the 485Cs as you've seen this there. I really like those compressors because, dude, they're bulletproof. Like, they just work. I mean, they're like apple pie. They're like baseball in the summertime. They're American. They just work. But 485Cs are 100% duty cycle at 200 psi, which means those compressors can fill up that 5-gallon tank very, very quickly without much effort at all. So your compressors are not going to be stressed all the time. They can run damn near all day long, you know, and it won't hurt them one bit. They won't even be struggling. Also, I always run those water air separators because your air is going to be cooling and warming and cooling and warming. When it goes into the tank, it's very, very hot because the compressors are warm. So that creates condensation in the tank. Always make sure, whether it's aluminum, steel, especially if it's steel, but whether they're aluminum or whatever, make sure that those tanks get drained out, that you drain the water out of them, condensation. And always use water air filter or separators. That way you get less water in there from the compressors themselves. It's going to save you heartache down the road having to replace compressors, tanks, yada, yada, yada. You get the idea. The ALP4 system, as well as the 3P, I recommend that highly because it comes, I mean, it's everything. As you've seen, I just showed you the full air management install. Just about anybody with basic mechanic knowledge and a set of tools can install that air ride if they've already got the airbags on their vehicle. Super simple. It's going to give you your pressure switch. It gives you your valve setup. It maintains the compressors and monitors them. So if anything goes wrong with the system, it's going to give you an alert on your little handheld, or you can use your phone. You can Bluetooth this setup, and it does everything the controller does and a little bit more. Great system. Yes, you're going to say, but David, it's really expensive. Well, actually, if you consider the time and money involved in doing, say, 8 valves, 8 electric valves, which is how all of us in mini trucking started back in the day, was with individual valves. And we had these elaborate setups that looked like they came off of a battleship with all these valves and fittings all put together. By the time you buy all those fittings these days, because they are not cheap at all, and you buy the valves, 8 valves, and you run the wiring to those valves, and you plumb it to the tank, and plumb in your compressors, yada, yada, yada. You've got to consider that material that it takes to do that, but not just that, the time that it takes you to do it, because your time is money. If you're paying somebody else to do it, definitely their time is money. So it all weighs out in the end. You could just buy this airlift system, buy once, cry once, have a good system it's gonna be modern, it's gonna do you right. I haven't had any issues with the airlift systems I've got, and I've been running them for years now on my Dulé, on low main, on Stinky Pinky, no problems whatsoever. And I've had the AccuAir systems. To me, I just don't like them as much as the airlift. They're not as simple, and they don't do as much in the way of like your controller. It's still, the controller for the AccuAir doesn't have anything screen-wise to tell you what's going on, so you still got to have air gauges. So, you know, and that's another cost that's involved with either AccuAir or 8-valve setup, whatever you use. You've got to have a tank gauge and bag gauges so you know what the pressures are. With this, it tells you right on your handheld or your phone, either one. So you got to consider all those things. Also, I run 2 compressors normally. Well, on everything I own has 2 compressors, because not only is it going to fill the tank faster, so it's less stress on each compressor, but also if you were to have one compressor that fails, you've got another compressor that's still running. That's always good to have that. The chances of them both going out at the same time are kind of slim, just because they are wired on separate harnesses. They're tied together with the airlift, but they're separate harnesses, separate relays. So if you got a relay that goes bad, you only lose one compressor. Like I said, chances of them both going out at the same time are very slim. So that's something else to think about. Now let's go inside the car and see if we can't get it calibrated, and I'll show you the handheld a little bit with the ALP4 and tell you what I really like about this specific system.
So this is our air ride controller. It's the ALP4 air ride controller. It's all touch screen, and you've got these buttons at the bottom that you can use as well. You got your tank pressure and your individual corners. You can hit manual. You can highlight the front 2, air them up, air them down. Right now we're pretty much all the way aired up. You can highlight one individual corner and it'll bump it up, bump it down, however far. You can highlight them all, do them all at one time. And that's just in manual mode. I really love this feature. It's awesome. It shows you, if you have the ride height sensors, it shows you where you are in the travel of the height sensor. It tells you which bag is which. Really nifty feature. Right now we are going to go to, let's see, setup. In setup, we've got all these different controls we can change: colors, defaults, background. You got, when you do the dual compressors, you got to make sure that you go in there. This is on the 3P and the ALP4. You have to go in there and change it from single. That's the default from the factory. Make sure you change it to dual, or that other compressor won't come on. You can change your pressure, your max pressure that it'll air up to. Minimum battery voltage, so that's as far as it will monitor. It monitors your battery voltage. If it gets less than this number right here, it won't allow the system to do anything. That way you're not, because if you get below, say, 11 volts or less, you can really tear some stuff up trying, like your compressors, if they try to run on low voltage, it'll put a strain on them, can tear stuff up. Start delay, so you can have it where it delays the compressors coming on when you start up the thing. We're going to go to calibration right now. Alright, so after it does the front and the back, and it does up and down several times, it'll give you a calibration is successful, hopefully, if it is successful. If not, it'll tell you what the error was, and then you can go in there to fix it. We're going to exit. And we're back to manual mode. If we go up here and click, not click, but actually if we go up here and go to presets, we can set our presets individually. We're not quite ready to do that yet. I've got to get it outside before we can set each one, but they're fairly easy to set. You just go in there and put it on which one you want and select the preset and good to go. That is the drive screen, so this will be the screen that it shows all the time. Obviously, if you're on preset 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever, it'll say preset up there at the top. Once we get those done, fairly straightforward, but lots and lots of cool features on this deal. We didn't go through all the menu buttons, but there is just all kind of things that you can do. Phantom 55 first startup. It started up, so there's plus. Built oil pressure. Trying to get fuel trim figured out. Fuel pressures and odds and ends. Been fighting fuel leaks all day, but we think we got those figured out.
To actually collect the data that's needed. You
know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So, to verify. Alright, well that's going to do it for this episode of Grounded by Design. We got the Phantom 55's heartbeat beating. Still got a lot more tuning to do. And speaking of tuning, you stay tuned and stay grounded. I don't know.
There's good romance.
I don't know.
You go? I do love me some Shrek though.
No, you
I do love me some Shrek, but